Another day, another Kotaku meltdown. What is up, denizens of the interwebs? It's Alyssa here coming on another video, and it looks like Kotaku's having an absolute fit targeting an odd target with Pokemon's new mobile game, the Pokemon TCG, which is a terrible name. They should have gone with something else. But Redditors over at Kotaku are absolutely freaking out over it for some reason, claiming that this is destroying their legacy and is an absolute embarrassment upon their brand because it's just clearly a money laundering gacha system, as if Nintendo hasn't done that before. And then above that meltdown, it looks like our favorite Kotaku journalist, Alyssa Mercante, may just have gotten fired from Kotaku, though of course she didn't say she was fired, but of course most of the time when you're let go, you're allowed to save a little bit of grace, and that's exactly what it looks like is happening here. And then of course, above all of that, we have a rumor coming out from smashJT. This is just speculation, pure conjecture, not even a rumor, it's just him shooting the shit, I suppose, where he's suspecting that the reason Alyssa Mercante is no longer at Kotaku, she's possibly going and working for Sweet Baby Inc. Now, the evidence is really tumultuous, but there's a little bit to suggest that maybe she could be, but it's really a nothing burger that smashJT is probably exploding out of proportion, but if he's not, I'll eat some crow. So like, subscribe, and let's get into these. The first one is, like I said, from Kotaku. Let's not pretend Pokemon TCG Pocket is promoting gambling to children. I'm not really sure what you're talking about, because one issue with that claim is that pretends that booster packs are not promoting gambling. This one's not a very good booster pack, but that doesn't matter. This is gambling. Buying this pack, hoping to get a good card, if I were to play the TCG, but let's be honest, nobody plays the Pokemon TCG. But hoping to get a good card that's strong or looks cool, like this Reverse Holo Sudowoodo, that's the goal of buying the packs. The packs are inherently gambling because you don't know what you're getting out of them. You never know if you're going to get your worth or if you're going to get way above your worth. It is objective gambling, no matter how you spin it. So I don't know what you mean by this game, which I installed just for this video. I might play in the future because I do like Pokemon quite a lot. This is also just gambling because it requires you to open packs. I'm not really sure how you open. It says I have packs. Whatever. But the point is, it's all gambling. Pokemon is not new to gambling whatsoever. In fact, if you remember, about 3 years ago, Pokemon TCG released Pokemon Masters, which is their actual gacha game where you try and pull for specific trainers from the various properties of Pokemon to unlock them, interact with them, befriend them, and fight with them. That is gambling. I admittedly spent way more money on that game than I should have, but I had excess income and nothing else to spend it on, so I probably spent almost $1,000 on that game. What can I say? I like gachas. I've also played the Mortal Kombat mobile gacha, Injustice 2 gacha, and Genshin Impact, all of which are gachas. And you know what? When you're going to complain about card-based gachas, Clash Royale, that's literally, as far as I'm looking at it, Clash Royale is a more egregious system than this one, because this one you get free packs every little while, and you do things to get more free packs. Whereas in Clash Royale, you had to grind for gems, and then the gems were worth basically nothing. But let's see if John Walker can justify his claim that all this is doing is promoting gambling and damaging the is doing irreparable reputational harm to the Pokemon company. Now see, there's a way to play Pokemon TCG on your phone or tablet that's entirely free, and not free to play, but free to leave it with your kid and not to ever worry. In regard to the Pokemon TCG Live, which is an application that lets you play the full-size 60-card deck version of the trading card game with an unlimited amount of time, and doesn't feature a single way to pay money. Cards are added to the game by using the codes on the back that comes as an extra physical Pokemon card packs, but they can also be bought in their hundreds for cents from various websites and source. I throw them in the recycling in stacks, but that's not the end of any expenses. Even if you want to, there's no way to add to your bank card to purchase even the silliest of cosmetics, and when it comes to Pokemon, that feels right. I'm a little curious as to know why you say that feels right, because Kotaku yourself has done nothing but glowing reviews for Pokemon Unite, a game that is entirely based on spending money to buy cosmetics for Pokemon. You know, that is such a good costume for that Gengar. Pokemon Unite, baby first MOBA. The whole point of that game is spending money. Pokemon Go, the whole point of the game is spending money on cosmetics. Pokemon, the TCG, the last time I played it, admittedly this was years ago when I was younger, so I don't know if they changed it, if they updated it when they made it mobile, because I was playing when it's still just a computer game. The way that game worked is you could in fact upload your cards. If anyone wants to steal this, you're welcome to. I don't care. I have all of them. I don't use them. But in that game, not only could you use those codes, but you could explicitly buy Pokemon boosters, booster boxes, and deck boxes from that game. I don't know if they changed that system or not. I don't feel like going and checking, but when I last played, that was an option to go ahead and buy from the game, because I was almost tempted, but I was broke in like 10, so I couldn't. So I'm pretty sure you're talking out of your ass here. And do a quick bit of rudimentary searches. I did find that actually the TCG Live is microtransaction free for the time being, with it being a heavily contested discussion whether or not it should be. But the whole thing about the game is it all draws directly from the other Pokemon trading card game app, TCG Online, which has microtransactions, most notably in the form of a Battle Pass type system that gives you cards every month. And still, the fact that you have to pay money for the codes does not mean you get everything for free in that game. That is irrelevant. That is an irrelevant point. You are still paying money to get things in the game to gamble on. So I don't know what you mean by saying that feels right. Every single Pokemon game that isn't a mainstay requires microtransactions in some way or another, with the closest one to not being the single example that you listed of the TCG Live. That is the only one that does not require direct microtransactions. And therefore, you're being incredibly disingenuous by claiming that, because Pokemon Unite requires them, Pokemon Masters, Pokemon Go, they all mandate microtransactions. Pokemon Online, which is drawn from the previous version of Pokemon Online, whatever that one was called, didn't require, but pretty much required microtransactions. You're lying to us and yourself. Now, John Walker claims that this game contains at least 12 different in-game currencies. So let me take a look at my version of the game, and I'll tell you how many I find. Alright, looking at the list of microtransactions you can buy hourglasses, you can buy tickets, you can buy special cards, genetic apex, these are covers for cards or booster packs, you can buy certain support cards, you can buy emblems, which seem to be things that doesn't actually tell me what those do. You can buy from the special thing requiring special tickets, you can buy accessories with some nice black and silver items such as coins, sleeves, and playmats. You can buy special background for Wonder Pick events, and then you can buy, premium. You can buy more accessories. So this is the same thing, relying on the premium pass and stuff you get from the premium pass. Poke Gold, which seems to be the first unique microtransaction system since the Poke Pass and the actual ticket system. That all seems to be one thing. And then under other, there are no other items. So the actual number of different microtransactions you can buy are Pokegold. That's it. Looking at the app, there's only one microtransaction in this game, and that is to buy Pokegold, which is used to buy more packs and rare cards, it looks like. Yep, it appears that all you get are rare. Actually, it doesn't look like you get packs from Pokegold. It looks like you get a bunch of bonus cosmetic items. That's all you can do by paying for the game. And then there's the microtransaction of the monthly premium pass, which seems to get you a lot of rewards, and it's $10 a month, as is covered later in this article. So, this game is claimed to be masterclass in gacha, gambling, game design, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of actual systems like that in the game whatsoever. It's not there. I'm looking. I looked. You can't see that I didn't look, because I'm actively going through this. So I'm pretty sure I've now spent more time on this game than John Walker has. But he claims that this game, after this tour, cuts you off hard. Here, the only way to add new cards to your deck is to engage with systems that endlessly encourage you to spend real-world money. Well, I'm looking at it, and there's only two things to spend real-world money on, so no. I'm a fool, but not that big of a fool. I get why free-to-play mobile games are designed to encourage their users to spend money. These products are not charities, they're businesses, and this is a model that has proven to be enormously lucrative, exploitative, controversial, and in some countries illegal. Well, those countries can suck my star-spangled cock. I don't give a shit whether or not you think they should be giving this stuff for free. That's not anyone's business, because guess what? Their job is to make money. And you know what? The fact that the TCG Live is constantly getting more and more updates, but doesn't require you to charge anything, means that they need a way to funnel money into that project. And guess what? Gacha's a pretty good way to do that. John Walker is really trying his best not to show his bias, the highest grossing out. So funny. These prices aren't even that extreme to look at. Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the world. Good for them. In fact, it's not even close. Estimated to have brought $150 billion in its 30 years. God damn. It leaves second place to Hello Kitty. That's a shock. In its wake at a total of $89 billion. Star Wars sits at less than half at $70 billion. Now that's crazy, because for a whole year, Star Wars was a major part of the American GDP, even with the fact that Star Wars had a 20-year head start. So, of course, John Walker, being the communist crap show he is, uses this to argue that they can afford to run TCG Live for free and they can justify to run TCG Pocket for free. And so, of course, John Walker uses that to argue that as a reason why they can afford to run the TCG Live for free. And, of course, this total was estimated before the Pokemon Company ever dipped its toes in the toxic waters of gacha gaming. Okay. That's not true. Pokemon Masters, I believe, is a 4-year-old game. So I believe we just had our 4-year, maybe our 5th-year anniversary. The entire basis of the game is you do missions and bonus events to get gems. When you get 300 gems, you can make a 1 pull, or at 3,000 gems, you do an 11 pull. You have a 1% chance of getting a featured character, up to at most I think 2%, and between an 8 to a 12% chance of getting any 5 stars at all. In order to get pity on a character, you must get a total of 400 gems You must do a total of 400 pulls for the character before their banner expires. If their banner expires, you lose all pity. That is a gacha system. That is an even more egregious gacha system than the one listed before. In fact, going through the... Holy shit, it's been a while since I played this game. There's a lot of updates I have to go through. But just looking into the game right now, I have 860 gems, and the goal is to pull... you can't see it, but the goal is to pull for characters, to win characters so you can do better in events. No different than this. Yes, this game doesn't have PvP, and it looks like the TCGP does have PvP, but that's irrelevant. And he also comes here to claim that the Battle Pass cost of $10 a month is rather pricey. And while I do agree that I would hate to pay $10 for a Battle Pass in a mobile app, I'd like to remind you that literally every single Battle Pass is priced like that. The Mortal Kombat mobile and the Injustice 2 mobile passes are priced in that range. The Pokemon Unite pass is priced in that range. Apex, Fortnite, all the major game passes are all priced in that $10 range. Now, apparently this game does impose a limit on spending, which will prevent players from using more than 750 Pokegold a day to open packs. So it looks like Pokegold can be used to open packs. Now, I'm not seeing that option on here. Let's see if I can trigger that. Alright, so looking at the way this game works, when you purchase packs, you get a cooldown for when you get more booster packs, and some packs will stack up with stamina. It looks like you get only a couple of packs you can open a day. Hourglasses will reduce the remaining time on that timer, and gold will allow you to speed up the recovery time as well. So according to this, the map, it doesn't tell me how much I have to spend to get each thing, so it looks like it's purely on a time-based system. John Walker says that this game has a system to prevent players from using more than 750 Pokegold a day to open packs. He then continues to complain that there is enough to unlock yourself enough cards to start building rudimentary decks, and the so-called Wonder Picks and 12-hourly free picks mean you always have a way to gain more. So what's your complaint? With these, you can take part in the game's battles against the CPU or other players, and while crude, it's a reasonably enjoyable game. It's impossible not to add that if you're used to the full version of the TCG, it's oddly frustrating to have such repetitive decks, no stadium cards, and so few trainer and tools. Well, no one used those anyway, so I don't know if that matters. So yes, it is possible to play Pocket for free. It's just that clearly not what it's intended, like every other gacha game to ever exist. In fact, to even be able to access the battles, you're forced to go through all the loops that'll eventually suggesting you pay real money. You must go through tutorials and have you opening pack after pack after pack, picking wonder picks and displaying your favorite cards for others before the tab to take part in the battles unlocks. You mean like other gacha games where they put you through a really rewarding, really high dopamine rush flush of a tutorial that gives you a ton of pulls and then pull back after you complete the tutorial? That's once again a normal gacha system. You're then given all these missions, small tasks to complete of an incidental nature, some triggered by completing in battles that thrust more hourglasses upon you. Now you've got over 150, that's like 12 more packs to open, and whoa, opening those packs triggered more missions, and you've got another 40 hourglasses. 3 more packs and a few hourglasses spare, and don't forget to wonder pick. That 1 in 5 chance of getting a card you half want unlocks even more rewards right now. Oh, and what's this? There's a new type of CPU battle where you can win the chance to try to pull a Lapras card, and it rewards you yet another type of hourglass to keep trying until it doesn't. Once again, yes, I do agree that this system is a little predatory, maybe a decent bit predatory, but that's not new to Pokemon. That's not new to the gacha system. That's how Pokemon Masters works. That is how a good chunk of Pokemon Unite worked. There was a whole lot of that going and doing the trickle feed of reward for dopamine rush between matches. This is not new to Pokemon, but instead you go over here and say, this is Pokemon. I keep hearing the voice of the frustrated reader crying, yeah, but it's a free-to-play app, dumbass, and you are. That is what they do. And I just coming back to the same point, but this is Pokemon. And Pokemon has been doing this gacha trickle feed for a while with their various mobile apps and third-party systems. In Pokemon TCG Pocket, real-world money can buy you access to vastly more packs of cards, wonder picks, and turns at events. In the real fucking world, real money is the only way to get fucking cards. I cannot understand why your amoeba-ridden brain cannot comprehend that. You are defending something that is already in place. Well, what if you have to spend money to do this stuff? You have to spend money no matter what. You have to spend money on the other Pokemon games or you're going to miss out on a ton of stuff. You can play this game 100% free, but you will pay the cost of it by having to grind more and getting less access to stuff. That is the way that the free-to-play economy works. And I'm not defending the free-to-play economy. It low-key sucks. I'm not a huge fan of it most of the time. That's why I'm not above dropping a few dollars every now and then on mobile apps. Because if I can get more of my worth from paying for it than I get from... If I get enough money to justify a level of happiness to pay for it, then I'm going to pay for it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And don't you go on with this. It's no surprise that Pokemon TCG Pocket has even tried to launch in Belgium, where loot boxes are outlawed, nor in the Netherlands, where similar laws being sought. They're stupid laws. I don't give a shit about any of that. Your absolute incredulousness over the fact that Pokemon is doing this is absolutely ridiculous, because this is how Pokemon has functioned since it first came out. And up here, you complain that they let you buy a bunch of cosmetics. So fucking what? That's the entire economy system based in Pokemon Go, is spending real-world money to engage in battle, to store more Pokemon, and to buy cosmetics. This game looks a lot more fair than Pokemon Go's financial system looks. That one's actually much more predatory. As a fan of the real-world TCG, I was excited to play this streamlined version, especially after playing it at Gamescom earlier this year. At that preview demo, we weren't shown any of the gacha elements, and questions about them were responded with, "We'll have to get back to you on that." I said at the time that I feared many more ways to spend gold other than speeding up packs opening would be revealed by launch. Adding gacha plus kids makes me uncomfortable, but I still let myself hope a bit. That's Pokemon, right? Kids are the primary target of all gacha games, and must I go back to Clash Royale, which has, as far as I know, is not sued or frequently criticized for the ridiculous gacha elements either. And yes, let's address the problematic nature of those real-world card packs too. Are they gambling? Very probably. No, you stupid son of a bitch. This is gambling. There's no way to spend this that isn't gambling. Depending on the motivation behind buying them, nope, there's no world in which this is not gambling. However, there's a huge difference for children's minds in something like a stamina meter that could be refilled with the touch of a button to maintain a feedback loop, and nagging your parents into taking you to the store to buy another $5 pack. Are you complaining about Pokemon, or are you complaining about the very nature of free-to-play games? That has been in games since the mobile game genre was created. Tons of games made 10, 15 years ago are filled with a nagging, refilling stamina bar. That's what every single game I've listed already was founded on, and that's what so many other games from that area are founded on, is the fact that you have a trickle feed of stamina. You get a whole bunch of it that you can store up, and then after you fill it a lot, you can either pay money or wait 30 minutes or watch an ad to get a little bit more. That is a foundation of mobile gaming, and that has been the way it has worked forever. Yeah, it'd be awesome if it could change, but I don't know a single way to change that doesn't go into a pay-to-play model. And then you have to get on your high horse. I feel very sure that in Pokemon TCG Pocket, the Pokemon Company has made a big error in judgment. While it already is proving enormously successful with reports of 20 million, goddamn, made in its first week, the reputational harm that I suspect will follow could outweigh it. What reputational harm is this game bringing that this does not cause? This is gambling. I don't care. There's no way to spend this that isn't gambling, because you are buying to own the cardboard, which you have to pick. You have to buy the packs to get it. You are paying it to get rare cards. You are buying it. You're buying the packs to get rare draws, like the Pokemon birthday one, because your birthday, or you're doing it to get specific cards, or just to try and make money. No matter what, it's all gambling. He continues on to say that he thinks it's going to be repugnantly ugly for the Pokemon Company. Or maybe you should realize this is the way that gaming has always worked when it came to the free-to-play mobile model. I still have a bunch of mobile games from back when I was in high school, so let's go ahead and let's look at all the games that have a stranglehold trickle feed stamina model built in. I currently have 20 games on my phone that I haven't touched in a couple of years that all require that system. It is the most predominant system in mobile gaming. That's how you make their money. That's how they keep you coming back and playing later, so you don't complete the game in a couple of days, so you have to keep coming back day in and day out. And it creates a way to prevent you from completing everything like you could do in, say, Genshin Impact, and then getting super bored and just giving up while you wait for new content to come out. John Walker does have a bit of a counterpoint to that. Yes, once again, this sort of shit is grimly normal. I love the language Kotaku allows. Yes, once again, this shit is grimly normal in the mobile space, and there's a vast industry built around the exploitation of whales in free-to-play gacha gaming, or let's call it by its name, gambling. But yet again, this is Pokemon. It's Pokemon just undeniably selling gambling to children. Undeniably selling gambling to children. Pokemon Masters, undeniably selling gambling to children. Pokemon Go, where you are encouraged to spend money to do raids to get shinies, undeniably selling gambling to children. What are you talking about? Gambling is the foundational focus of Pokemon outside of the mainstay games. Your high horse and your defense of Pokemon is absolutely insane. I'm sorry the world doesn't fit your narrative, but that's your defense of this is Pokemon only works if you consider the mainstay games of the legitimately the console games. Any system that doesn't rely on the console games is just wrong. And let's not forget the fact that the older games up until I believe Gen 5 had gambling systems in them where you went to an actual arcade to gamble. The anti-gambling laws in video games are just stupid because they just harm everyone involved. They do not benefit consumer because we see what happens when you get rid of the gambling system. You get Overwatch 2, where it goes from being you never have to pay money to get cosmetics to the only way to get cosmetics is to pay an unreasonably large amount of money. There's a limousine outside. Sorry. But of course, that's not the end of the day for Kotaku, with Alyssa Mercante officially being let go, or leaving according to how she wants to spin it. Of course, it's very devil. Coming from smashJT, other sites have reported on this as well, but I wanted to read smashJT's own editorializing suspicion that he thinks that Alyssa Mercante might be going to Sweet Baby Inc. as well. In a move that will surely surprise some and bring relief to many, Alyssa Mercante has announced her departure from Kotaku after 2 years as senior editor. While her statement frames the decision as one of some kind of personal choice and reflection, there are unmistakable hints suggesting that her exit might have been less voluntary than she would like to imply, but there are plenty of tangible breadcrumbs to see exactly what is happening next, and all signs point to Sweet Baby Inc., as smashJT puts it. Now, her statement is as follows. Work news. After exactly 2 years, I've decided to leave Kotaku and my role as senior editor. I'm eternally grateful for Kotaku's editorial team and all that they taught me during my time there. They are some of the best in the business, and I will be forever proud to have shared a masthead with them. They continuously fight to maintain the editorial pillars that make Kotaku great. Yeah, the editorial pillars. To hold on to their journalistic integrity. Oh yeah! Error 404, no integrity found, bitch. In the face of increasing pressure to compromise that. It's been a long few months during which I've learned a lot about myself and my value as both a woman and as a writer. I thought you were non-binary, bitch. This is the right decision for me. I have some things coming down the pike, so keep your eyes peeled. And then she follows with also saying, and also kiss my ass. And yep, as smashJT points out, she praises Kotaku's editorial integrity and resilience. Yep, so much journalistic integrity. So much journalistic integrity. I wonder what gave them that impression. Now, of course, for those who do not know, Alyssa Mercante has one of the worst reputations in the journalism industry, given the fact that she has done nothing but push divisive narratives that have never resonated with a broad gaming audience on the whole. Her reputation as someone more interested in championing personal agendas over comprehensive balanced coverage become the point of contention with the community during her 2-year tenure there. And coincidentally, this even aligns almost perfectly with the recent election of the Orange Man. It is very odd that someone who's very critical and constantly attacking the Orange Man just happens to leave right as he gets elected. I have to wonder what that's about. And let's not forget, how did Alyssa Mercante get elected or get hired at Kotaku? This person, Magnus Stanford, how did he get involved in the gaming industry? With Alyssa Mercante, I suck dick. This is not slander to say that she had fellatioed her way to the top. She legitimately admitted it. Now, where smashJT gets a little tin hatty is down here. Amid the news of Alyssa Mercante's departure from Kotaku, it aligns with her tweeting about how she was already on her way to Canada, as pictured up here above, from Alyssa Mercante, potentially exploring new opportunities at companies such as Sweet Baby Inc. or Compulsion Games, both DEI consultancy groups based in Canada. And of course, she has been doing nothing but defending and running defense and being overly sympathetic to Sweet Baby Inc., frequently lying about what's going on there, and here's her being pictured at Compulsion Games. So no, I'm going to be honest, I don't think Alyssa Mercante is going to be working at Sweet Baby Inc. It might happen. Actually, no, I wouldn't be too surprised, but I'm not going to say it's going to happen because there's no evidence to support that it will happen. There's always a chance, but there's always a chance of anything. And then, of course, it's no shocker at all that Kotaku is just another idiotic cesspool, continuing to spread bullshit articles even after that center of that cesspool has left. Pokemon has always been about gambling. That's one of the reasons we love it so much. Even when you play Pokemon, shiny hunting is, in of itself, a form of gambling. You are looking for that 4,056 chance of getting that one alternate colored Pokemon. But there's no guarantee of it, and it's nothing more than, once again, a form of gambling. Hatching eggs. You could even argue that an egg is in of itself a loot box. This attack on gambling is something that is so ludicrous and makes no sense because, yeah, sure, I will agree that I would prefer kids not be gambling, but to claim that this focus of that should be on destroying loot boxes, claiming that it's pro-consumer to eliminate loot boxes is just a load of bullshit. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Are you guys thinking that Alyssa's going to go to Sweet Baby Inc., or do you think she just got fired and is saving grace because of the fact that she can't help herself from running? She can't help but run her big fat mouth. But that's all I've got for today, so I will see you guys on the next one.